The America's Cup is ongoing. And originally when I was going to make this video, I was like, I wonder if there's going to be enough things that happen that give me headlines that I can talk about. Because in the case that North America wins both their games, then they're just going to play 2 best-of-3s on Thursday, and then we'll go to games on Friday, and I'm not really going to have much content for a video here. Good guys, C9 had a plan otherwise, but there's also been so many other headlines around the space that we're going to call today Freakout Friday. And we're going to talk about the 3 biggest freakouts that are currently ongoing, starting with the America's Cup. Because number one is that the C9 fan base is in utter disarray right now. Because in case you need the context of the America's Cup, shortly after playing their series versus Lion, Sentinels played the day prior. Everybody flew down to Brazil. It's a 4-team tournament between North America and Brazil, featuring our 2nd and 3rd seeds, of which are playing for a boot camp, which has a cash value of like 40,000, I would guess, at least based on historical figures. So there is a little bit of importance to winning this. Now, if you win MSI, or like if you qualify for MSI, you'll naturally get to go to Korea anyways, and that I think will get passed down to the team below them. But regardless, still important for America to win. It might not be a cash prize, but boot camps and anything that you could provide to orgs nowadays, whenever they don't have the capital structure and finances anymore to really like just donate money around. Yeah, this is kind of a big deal. And the assumption was that North America would be able to clean this up pretty easily. I mean, even though, yes, the LTA South last year, I can't stand mentioning that name anyway, CB Lowell, okay, they were able to land some punches against North America. It still should have been better. Like, C9 was great all the way up until finals, right? They just choked there. Well, apparently, the issues for Cloud9 are extending well beyond that. And there's going to be a lot of people that look at this first series that happened on Thursday, where C9 gets 0-2 pummeled. A lot of people missing the context of like, oh, you know, was it a close 0-2? Did they come back? Did they throw leads? No, they were down significant amounts of gold in both of the losses by 10 minutes. It was weird plays, 4v5 fights, Blabber and APA going in weird stances, Sven dying in positions that, like, just everything was really bad. And you saw some people using jet lag as a possible cope, which I think is fine to a certain extent. You even saw in Blabber's cam after, or his interview afterwards, that like, hey, yeah, oh god, those bags under his eyes are pretty big. So yeah, he's probably pretty jet lagged. It just is what it is. You know, maybe you write it off, but that did not stop C9 fans from overreacting, and myself, understandably. Like, let's be honest, there's a difference between losing when you're jet lagged and whatever happened there. Like, jet lag, you're tired, like you mess up on some things, you don't just completely lose your brain. And that's what happened here. It was like, all right, sure, whatever. So fans were freaking out on a scale of like what I would say, I don't know, about a 4. It didn't feel as real because, again, America's Cup, it doesn't qualify you for an international event. Boot camp's important, but for C9 fans, they're used to much bigger at this point. So fine, it is what it is. Sentinels then comes in and luckily relieves North American fans a bit. Not C9 fans. They're looking at Sentinels win 2-0 over Red, saying, okay, well, maybe we're the problem. But at least for NA fans, it was proof that, like, okay, maybe this is just isolated to a C9 issue. We have one North American team that's looking good. And actually, as opposed in this video, you will get to see Furia versus Sentinels later on today. So we'll get an even better picture of whether it truly was just the C9 issue or whether maybe Furia is actually pretty good. Who knows? The problem, though, came last night when it looks like, okay, C9's not doing this cleanly, but they are turning it on in this tournament. Maybe they caught up on sleep. The jet lag's not hurting them as much anymore. They go up 2-0 on Red in the elimination series because this is a double elim. They still have a chance. It's all best of 5s. Then they lose the next 2 games. And I'm not the biggest fan of how Red played game 5, but at a minimum, the fact that they even pushed it there, I think has a lot of people just now over Cloud9. Like, it went from like a 4 in panic to like a 7 or 8 of people being like, yeah, I'm done. I'm absolutely done. Had it not been for Thanatos absolutely putting the squad on his shoulders, C9 would be at home right now and eliminated. And I think there would be a lot of validity to people saying that the squad needs to break up. And there's a particular moment in Call of Duty history that I want to note for Cloud9 fans who might not be aware of like Call of Duty. The Optic Dynasty, which is like one of the most popular squads of all time, nearly broke up before they hit their pinnacle achievement. It was a specific play, a round 11 S&D. I can't remember the name of the map, but I can remember where it's at in Infinite Warfare, versus a org named Panda, which I don't even know if they exist anymore. It just is what it is. But Karma clutches up a 1v1 round 11 to quite literally save this dynasty and make sure that they can finish the year together and go on to win champs. It feels to me like Thanatos had one of those moments here where he saved this roster. Had he not helped them win this series, it honest to God feels like changes might have come at Cloud9, because fans are already freaking out saying we want changes. Like, it is abruptly clear that people do not want this current iteration of the roster together, not only because they think that they're going to fail domestically. Like, the joke was that, oh, it's already summer down in Brazil, that's why they're choking. Like, there is this assumption that they will be bad come summer. But in addition to that, people are genuinely scared to send C9 internationally because of what we're seeing here. And while I think that can change, public perception is very hard to deal with. Like, it is a very hard thing to change that needs like a ton of examples that you're not going to get in League of Legends to overcome. So the fan freak out is at like solidly a 7-8. I think it's valid personally, because C9 should not look this bad under any circumstance, whether they're jet lagged or not. But it's just wild to see. I'll come back to America's Cup for the third one, because the second fan freak out that I have to talk about, in case you haven't heard the news, is the next evolution, quote unquote, of Los Ratones. Like, even though it's not exactly the same thing, obviously Cadrill's not involved, Balas is not involved. It's a spiritual successor in a way. It's like the next marriage after divorce, kinda. I don't quite know. Witchcraft, okay, which is an org that is going to see pretty much the entirety of Los Ratones coming back, other than Balas, but notably putting Bwipo in the top lane. And what I was curious to watch with all this, and the reason why it's on the freakout list, is obviously Bwipo's image ain't the best in LoL esports. And I was wondering if anything has changed. And in my mind, it was like, okay, since that happened, he hasn't really said much. He hasn't like come out and talked at all. He's kind of like kept himself private and locked away, which fine, probably better for him. But in a moment like this, it's like, okay, you also did nothing to redeem yourself, if that makes sense, after the whole incident happened. Like, obviously you won LCS, or, well, the cross-conference thing, but like the press conference and everything else there, it was not enough for people. That was very clear. So when this announcement comes and you take a brand that is almost, I don't want to say childlike, because there's a youngness and a innocence to a certain extent of this Los Ratones fan base and just the community of it overall. I knew it wasn't going to be good whenever Bwipo got announced for them. I still thought it would do well. Like, I still, again, from a pure gameplay point of view, he is an upgrade to Balas. Whether people like that or not, he just genuinely is. Bwipo's an insane player. But brand image wise, I wasn't sure if people would be willing to forgive him yet, or like give him a chance. And people are clearly shutting the door on that and saying no. Like, it is very clear that the outrage is not great, and the numbers are probably going to reflect that with this. Now people are just seeing it as like some sort of betrayal is what I saw for a few people. I don't get that one. To me, it's like, okay, these four guys still wanted to compete. Just because Balas doesn't want to and Cadrill might be stressed out, they want to keep playing. People are like, oh, it loses the magic. It's like, dude, they are competitors. Cadrill was the content creator that kind of led this whole thing. He is like the reason why I've been telling you that you need content creators, not just players, involved with all this, because they'll be the ones that really help control the narrative, especially during game day, and kind of help deal with some of the damage that can happen with this type of stuff. But I was not expecting the Bwipo outrage to be still as vitriolic as it is, but alas, here we are. It still is. I put this at like a 9, like genuinely a 9. Maybe it's because of the volume that I'm seeing comments on both TikTok and YouTube and beyond. But I think it's fair. I think it's entirely fair, because the dude has not come out and gotten he has not taken the steps that you would need to like do your full apology tour. At least that's clear based on the people watching. I don't know what else to tell you. If you're a fan of Bwipo, fine. I get that there's going to be people that are really excited about this, but it is clear that, like, if you're looking at the Los Ratones fan base and then you're looking at how that converts over to the Witchcraft fan base, it is going to be a very small subsection of the two, because a lot of them were Baus fans and they've automatically tuned out. Cadro fans have for the most part tuned out. You're left with everybody else, and even then it seems like the anti-Bwipo fans are like really showing their skin here. So we'll see when the final numbers come out, but I put it like 8 or 9 in terms of brand freakout. And it's interesting how quickly it feels like it's kind of tarnished some of like the players that are involved with this, but winning solves a lot of things. I'm curious to see if it solves it here. The final freakout though that I have to touch on is just this wild quote from the press conference after Red got eliminated from the America's Cup, of which they said every single player is up for sale. Like, they all can go. Fuck them all. Okay, second place or third place is not good enough. We're here to win, so we're willing to get rid of everybody and everything to make that happen. I have never in my life in esports, after like a second-rate tournament, the beginning of lock-in, like, it's one thing for fans to say that. Like, I get fans overreacting and, you know, just saying like, blow it all up, like start from scratch, whatever. For management to come out and do that is freaking insane. You're not even going to keep a core of players. You're not going to keep any sort of like combination of the crew together. You're just saying, no, like, these guys that finished third, we're just going to like send them all elsewhere. And we have faith that there's enough guys either on other teams or in tier 2 that are good enough to join our squad that will also win the league. That's, oh my God. Like, I don't, Brazil's on a different level, man. This is like, this breaks the scale. This is like an 11 out of 10, maybe a 12 at this point. I've never in my life seen something like this in League of Legends. I've watched it happen in Call of Duty, but I've never seen it happen in League of Legends. And I'm just like, oh, this is all, man. I'm no way, shape, or form validating or saying that like the LTA thing should have still been a thing, but man, I love watching this level of freak out. This is fun. As if this video wasn't fun enough to film, I have one more thing that I can get you all to freak out a little bit about. That'll be the conclusion of this video, so I'll say this now. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But here's another reason for my fans to freak out. March 11th, the decision. It's coming.